Good morning, everyone. We're at day 2 of the Mining Fall Showcase. Exciting day here in Toronto. And we're going to be talking about Northern Superior. This is a gold play in Chibougamu, Quebec, a very well-known area. And this is a well-known group as well that in the mining industry. I'll let Simon Marcotte tell us about that, the CEO over at Northern Superior.
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for having me. Really appreciate that, and good to make your acquaintance, actually. So
Nice
hopefully we'll have opportunities to talk further. Yeah, I mean, we've been involved in a mining business for God longer than I'd like to admit, and we've been very successful at calling cycles as well. So, in the battery space, we were involved in 2 lithium companies, Lithium X, that was sold to a Chinese consortium at the peak of the first cycle, regrouped at the bottom of the cycle again, started Arena Minerals, again in lithium in Argentina, which we sold to Lithium Americas at the end of 2022. Now we're really focused on gold. I am extremely bullish on gold, and I think the next 2 or 3 years are going to be life-changing.
That's what we want to hear.
Now, in regards of Northern Superior, right? Let's take a step back here. For the gold space, to me, the gold sector is often about camps that are emerging, right?
Yeah.
And that's not a new strategy or anything new. I mean, it is the core business model of Agnico Eagle to build these mining hubs. Because when you have a camp that emerges, infrastructure comes in, permitting gets easier, capital flows, and even in what I call the dark days of mining in the last few years, you did have a few camps that emerged and did very well. Yukon has been enormous. You have Guyana that did very, very well. Then you also have Finland,
Yes.
right? With Agnico has been quite involved there. So somebody like Rupert benefited a lot from that. The stock of Rupert has been doing very well.
Yes.
So plenty of good examples, right? I mean, generally the sector has been tough, but this money was made.
Yes.
Now, what we're focused on and when we said the opportunity is what we believe is the next camp to emerge, just like those others. And it is the Chibougamu Gold Camp in Quebec, which on its own is one of the best jurisdictions you can find.
Yes.
So already this camp has about 12 million ounces of resource. And with the work that's being done right now by both ourselves and IAMGOLD, that camp, I expect, will grow significantly from here. There's still quite a bit of low-hanging fruit. Now, there's one specific attribute of this camp that we saw and we liked a lot is that all of these deposits in that camp are very, very close to one another. So close, in fact, that if you can put it all under one roof, one company, one joint venture, one structure, then you can design an operational complex that will all feed the same mill.
Yes.
Which will be the equivalent of having found an enormous deposit.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's where we took a leadership role in the last few years because just 24 months ago, all this camp, these 10 million ounces I'm talking about, were owned by 6 different companies.
Yes.
So nothing's going to happen,
individually. It's very
Exactly. I mean, there's plenty. There's several standalone projects in there.
Yep.
Absolutely, I'm good with that. But there's so much value to be created by unifying the camp.
Yep.
That we saw an opportunity to take a leadership role, as I mentioned. So fast forward 24 months to today. We went from 6 companies in the camp to 2. There's IAMGOLD and there's us, Northern Superior. So IAMGOLD, and I always say what's good for IAMGOLD is good for us. And what I mean by that is if the ramp up at Côté is doing well, and so far, amazing turnaround at IAMGOLD. I mean, the management in place has done an absolutely amazing job in recent years. So if the ramp up at Côté in Ontario goes well for IAMGOLD, then they will turn their attention to their next stage of development, which is the Chibougamu Gold Camp.
Yes.
And we have a few projects there, but the one I'd like to bring your attention to is the Philibert project. which is only 9 kilometers away from IM Gold's main project in the area. I believe that we own the key to that camp because our grade is higher.
Okay.
So if you start by mining higher grade,
Yes.
you will drastically improve the economics, especially you're going to lower the payback period of the camp, which is, to me, what makes or break a camp like that, right? What decides to attract, what will attract the capital or not.
Yeah.
Right. So right now I said both of us are very active in the camp. IM Gold is drilling at Nelligan. They're drilling at Munster Lake. They have a new resource coming out shortly at Munster Lake. They're drilling at another project they have at Anik, which is between us and them.
Yep.
They recently bought the Lac à l'eau jaune, which is the lake with the yellow water lake, how you want to say it, that they acquired recently. So they're spending more time, resources. They're drilling into the camp, and we just did a significant capital raise.
Yep.
We raised $8 million. It all went institutional. It was underwritten by Cormark Securities, to the exception of $1 million that we took ourselves, management and board. And now the insiders, we now own 25% of the company.
That's what you want to see?
So we wake up in the morning.
Yep.
But now we just, we're in the middle of a very active drilling campaign. 20,000 meters we're doing this year at Philibert in order to increase the size of that deposit. We already have 2 million ounces, but we want to make it larger. So that camp to me is just about to emerge. And bring a lot of attention.
And with that, I mean, you've got a bunch of projects under one. That comes with a lot of work already. Like it already has a lot of drill holes, a lot of assays, a lot of work, a lot of drill targets or information.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got a lot of that to build from to go, okay, we're focused here, but we can also know we're going to try to expand here, and here.
That's right. So we got the Philibert project, which we have just about 2 million ounces already. We have the Chevrier project, which has about 1 million ounces already. We have Croteau, which is about 650,000 ounces already. So I mentioned the camp is about 10 million ounces now. We have about 3.5 million of those ounces.
Okay.
Although we have the Lac Surprise project, where we have yet to formalize any ounces. Okay. And the Lac Surprise is the western extension of IM Gold's main project, the Nelligan project.
Very exciting.
So there's a lot of value there as well. So listen, there's so much value to create in that camp that you can trust the industry to make it happen.
Yes, I was going to say this kind of strategy. To a lot of people go, oh, that's smart. I mean, you accumulate and buy it. That takes. It's kind of like when you find a porphyry. Like it's great, but you also know you need a lot of money to back that strategy. But you guys have shown that. I mean, in a arguably very tight market, you're able to raise $8 million institutionally.
Yeah, no, we've been very good at raising capital over the last few years. We have very, very strong shareholders. To run after a porphyry is something I gave up on. I'm done chasing those things. What I like to do is create value by building ounces. Yes. Right? So it's low risk drilling. We already know the deposit, so we keep increasing the size of the deposit. And that's, if you ask me, the best risk reward scenario, especially at the bottom of the cycle like this. Yes. I much prefer doing that in the gold space. And it goes without saying, it doesn't hurt that gold is doing so well. You haven't seen anything yet. No. You have not. And that's the other thing. And maybe when we have a bit more time, we'll really dive into this with you. The outlook from even the most conservative, whether it's Goldman Sachs, are pretty uplifting for precious metals. It's not looking gloomy. It might look gloomy economic out there for interest rates and whatnot, but that just means good for mining, for gold, I think we're in the right business at the right time. At the right time. The wave is about to turn. If you allow me for another few seconds here, we just did a spin out of our TPK project, which is in a company called On Gold. TPK is a big discovery in the making. It is the largest gold in till anomaly in North America. Drill hole of 25 grams over 13 meters, and a boulder on the property of more than 700 grams a ton gold. So I would take a look at that. Stock has been trading now for just a few months. But Northern Superior owns 72% of On Gold.
Okay.
So if On Gold works, it'll greatly benefit the shareholders of Northern
well.
Superior.
And I imagine moving forward, you've got all the work that's going to go into one project. You're going to be doing all sorts of geochemical, geophysics along the way. What are some things that people should be paying attention to? Kind of short term, like say, I mean, it is mining, it's a long-term business, but by Christmas, if they're saying, okay, you've got my attention, what should I look for in the news by Christmas, PDAC, something like that, and say, okay, so, they're hitting their marks.
Right now we're drilling,
drill.
So there's going to be a lot of news flow in regards of drill results and leading up to an update resource calculation on Philibert. And M&A's in our blood. So we've been the hunter. And the question going forward, we can be the hunter again or the hunted, right? But that camp is we should pay attention there.
Excellent. Everyone, keep an eye on it, pay attention. Simon, thank you so much for spending time and telling us about it.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All the best. Take care.
You.